Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. DCeased, Dead Planet, issue number 3 of 7. Holy crap, this book just did not stop. Every time I came to a part that it could have ended on, it's like, nope, it just kept on going. And I'm like, oh, it's going to end here, right? Nope, it just kept on going. By the time I got to the actual end, I was out of breath. This was such a good comic book, man. It did not stop until it finally did. It was almost like it was a mercy, because it's like, dude, I need a little light in my life at this point. Did the sun even shine in this? I don't think it should. I don't think it should. But we're finally about to get going where we should have been going the whole time. Guys, let's talk about who made this comic book. Let's break into the book itself. So, DCeased, Dead Planet, issue 3 of 7, written by Tom Taylor, penciled by Trevor Harsine, inks by Gigi Baldacchini, and colors by Rain Barretto. Letters by Saida Timofonte, and cover by David Finch and Steven Furchow. There's also a variant cover out there, and yeah, boom. So we get an end to Plastic Man, and it ends quicker than I kind of would have wanted it to, but it makes sense how they got rid of Plastic Man. The trick is how convenient it was to have that thing there in order to get rid of Plastic Man. The trick is that it wasn't just a one and done, oh, this was here, and then, oh well, it is what it is. No. There was actually a reason for it. See, because they're going to this area where there's a bunch of rich fat cats there, and the Penguin is in charge of these rich fat cats. There's a whole bunch of fat cats there. One of them is actually Jason Blood. So it makes sense because they really needed Jason Blood or the Demon Etrigan to explain something to John Constantine. Jesus, just when you get to the point where you think, this book can't get any more crazy, that's impossible. No. Freaking Tom Taylor reminds you just who in the hell it is that he really is. He's this guy who's just got these billions of plans in his head, and if you just step back, edit. You have to edit. You got to edit the man. Everybody needs an editor. But if you just step back and say, I was about to interrupt you and say that wouldn't work, but I'm willing to hear you out. That's what you got to, that's how you properly edit the man. All right. Holy crap. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going to be a whole new freaking series or something like that. And all I'm saying is I hope there's going to be physical copies, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, this is absurd. It is so amazing what happens in this comic book, man. There's a death in this comic book, and it's a very important death because nobody likes this guy. There's not a single person in the entire history of the world who ever liked this one particular guy who gets killed. And it's like, yes, now you know the Justice League will be okay. Now you know that all these guys could potentially be okay because this one guy gets screwed up. And yet, when you're going to make the Penguin in a world of superpowered guys and make them even remotely relevant, you have to exploit class warfare, and nobody should be able to exploit that better than the Penguin. My humble opinion. There are a bunch of other people out there who you'd figure could, right? Like Lex Luthor or whatever. No. In order to really make the Penguin unique, he has to be that guy who's exploiting class welfare. I love it. I loved this. Absolutely, hands down, freaking loved this. Amazing story. When we get to the end of this, we realize that we're going to... I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler here because I really do want to talk about this a little bit. I'm not going to tell you how they get there, but here comes a spoiler right now. So piss off if you haven't, whatever, watch an ad, like the video. For the rest of you who want to be around for this, who already read the book, spoiler now. We are going to New Genesis. This is something I've been talking about. You guys know, if you've been following my reviews for this comic book, I've been talking about, obviously, you need to go to New Genesis to understand what's going on, to try and figure out a way to answer that bugging question. If you got the anti-life equation, how do you get the life equation? And these guys are able to figure it out here because the world is built kind of in opposites. The way that you get to wherever you need to go is you have to know as as far away as you can, the two extremes. You got to get as close to the two extremes as you possibly can in your knowledge in order to formulate your own opinion. Here's this side, and here's this side. So now where do I want to be? If I'm all the way on one pole or the other, my life is not in balance. So do you have to be perfectly between? Not necessarily, but you should have some relative balance, right? So they were able to figure this out on their own. I would have liked it if they had one of the more philosophical characters actually figure that part out, but I mean, literally, I'm looking at potential perfection here and going, you know, it would have been cool if, like, you know, the apples in the garden would have been a little bit cooler tasting. I'm saying, you know, so like, were they pink lady delicious? Is that what they were? Were they pink lady delicious? Because if so, I'm good with it. You know, like, that's how I feel like I am right now. But they're going to New Genesis, so that is hot. I might as well throw in that my homeboy, Mr. Miracle, scot-free. He is alive. Makes sense. It only makes sense that true immortal, yes, but more than that, he should be the last immortal because he's always going to be able to escape from everything. That's the one superpower this guy has. Shouldn't he technically be the one true immortal? That the only thing he can never actually be free of or escape from is himself. So the idea that he would continue like this is just, it's perfect. It's freaking perfect. I love this issue, as I love pretty much every single issue of this DCeased stuff that I'm reading, whether it's Dead Planet or any of the other stuff. Damn, this is good. Guys, read this comic book. Get all of these DCeased comic books because they are telling such an incredible story. And if you're waiting for the omnibus, I hope that you never get your omnibus because I don't want these stories to ever end. This is so much better than anything that Marvel Zombies has ever put out. Ever. I say that in the face of Resurrection Part 1 being out this week. And I didn't even read it yet, but I know it's not going to be half as good as this. Damn it, dude. Just give all the comic books to Tom Taylor. Pay him. Because damn it, we need him to never leave comic books. Anyway, guys, I am out. Watch an ad, like the video. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.